This month in numerology, you're going to hear many words repeatedly mentioned associated with the number nine, including letting go, releasing, completion, endings and beginnings, and of course, spiritual enlightenment. And although I cannot change the meaning held within the very essence of the number nine, I can offer some suggestions on how to change our perception and adjust our points of view concerning how this energy is significant to us at this time and why. Hello and welcome. I'm Sara Bachmeier, the leading Egyptian numerologist in North America. I'm the author of a couple books, Egyptian Numerology, Emergence into the Fifth Dimension, and The Path of a Wounded Healer. Liberation is for the asking. With the term letting go and releasing, there are many things that we enjoy letting go of, and some things that we don't necessarily want to release, even though we know that we should. For instance, I don't know anybody that doesn't want to let go of debt, extra weight, depression, and loneliness. On the other hand, we may need to let go of the way we do things, the way we perceive things, the situations in our lives that hold a dark cloud over our head every time we are confronted with it. All of the desirable and undesirable circumstances around the concept of letting go have one thing in common, and that is our attachment to them. Anything that becomes a running theme in our life, of course, because on some level we are attached to them or their outcome, and often is the case when we don't value or really understand the universal law of impermanence. If you can find the reason why you have an attachment to these particular situations, you gain the wisdom and freedom to choose if you want them in your life or not. Now, letting go of a loved one after death or following a betrayal can be difficult. Letting go of financial wealth through various means, including bankruptcy, or letting go of an occupation that has defined you most of your life, are some of the most common setbacks that we will endure in our human lives. Again, it is our attachment to these circumstances that we struggle with. Impermanence is a constant in our lives. Nothing lasts forever, and this can be good news as well as bad news. The truth of life is found in nature. The maturation process is displayed beautifully in the life cycle of a flower, our seasons, day to night and night to day. Everything is constantly changing and nothing but our soul is eternal. Now, if letting go is easy, you would not be here right now. You would have ascended by now. Our life lessons are always found in nature. That is why I nurture the idea of aligning with our elements and working in tandem with their wisdom. Nature intuitively knows the universal law of impermanence and unattached appreciation. So why do we struggle or strongly resist the act of letting go? Even if we intellectually understand this concept and the universal law, why is it difficult to practice it in our daily lives? Because it's not in our nature to flow with everyday life. We simply were not taught to value the ebb and flow that occurs on a daily basis. We are shown how to cling to things through manipulation, chasing pleasure, and reaching for things that are not in alignment with our truth. Nobody can guarantee that life will be easy, fair, or even make logical sense. But somehow, We believe that if we hang on to something or someone hard enough, we can control the outcome, regardless if the circumstances are harmful. It is not in our programmed nature to believe that the universe has a sacred order or the ultimate authority over everything and at all times. If we remove this programming and connected with the universal source of intelligence, we could become participating co-creators in the affairs surrounding our life circumstances. And if we spent the same amount of time that we do when we struggle on aligning with the universal laws, we could easily learn the concept of flow, release, and letting go. When you hear the word flow, what comes to mind? I visualize water, maybe a river. If I visualize becoming that river, I instantly feel unrestricted joy. And that is what it feels like to align with source energy. The universe is not punishing us when we lose something or someone we love. It is only supporting our energy and soul contract, which will always be stronger than our attachment to anything. Those who meditate often learn the first lessons of letting go of thoughts, anxiety, and outside distractions. It is through this practice that we can create a doorway toward a better understanding of co-creating with the universe. When you hear the term letting go, what comes to your mind and heart? Do you feel a sudden tightness in the chest, a resistance of keeping an open mind while holding on to this concept? When someone mentions the concept of letting go to me, I used to instantly flash to my worst experience or experiences, the ones that caused the most anguish and grief associated with letting go, like when my mother passed away, or the hardships of investigating the deep cause of my addictions, or the loss of my pet. That's always a hard one. Letting go was always attached to a memory that was detrimental to my well-being. As I transition into the state of flow and non-resistance and accept the law of impermanence, the distance of grief, loss, and loneliness associated with letting go gets further and further apart. Letting go isn't just a one-time experience and then you've got it. It's a daily practice. In the moment, the concept won't always be easy. It won't always feel fair or make logical sense. But I will continue to resist from time to time, and I will know grief many, many more times in my life. I can count on that. It is our life regrets that keep us returning to recycle our experiences lifetimes after lifetimes. Ascending to the next level requires dissolving the core element of this energy. If you still review your life story, owning regrets, shame, and resentment in your heart, you are using the 3D polarity of good and bad to continue to judge your experiences because all of your past experiences sum up who you are today. Part of the polarity consciousness began at birth, as most of us were raised with labeling things as good or bad. But now, as we spiritually mature, we can change our stories to include understanding, compassion, and really knowing that everything happens for a reason and in divine timing. Taking on density to incarnate was an agreement you made, fully aware of the consequences. Everything you despise in someone else is a part of you or has been a part of you. If you despise greedy people, you covet material wealth. If you despise dishonesty, then you have told lies. If you despise arrogance, then you feel your path is better than others. You cannot be affected by darkness unless there is something inside of yourself that calls it forward to be forgiven and accepted and even integrated into our lives. We're not here to fight the demons in others, but to forgive the demons that once dwelled or still exist within ourselves. You may still feel a sense of justice taking down the bad guy, but when you awaken, there will be two more to take his place or her place. Anything outside of yourself that you choose to fight with will only harden your heart further and, of course, drain your energy. That happens to me. You cannot win until you become a light warrior in the barrier of your own soul. Light workers have known for decades that it is the inward battle that we must confront. Our outside enemies are only the distraction to keep us from overthrowing the internal darkness within ourselves. We may carry a deep remembrance of feelings pointing to injustice and self-righteousness because they are embedded in unprocessed trauma. The dark and unconscious intentions of those who have volunteered to hurt our humanity and our planet, inflicting deep pain, is real. This dark agenda is an old Piscean era energy where evil breathes on itself and continues to wipe out any and all light that it finds in others. Its survival depends on this insidious process. But light workers did not come here to rebuild, fix, or repair a broken world. You are here to create a new one through your personal ascension, conscious intention, and appropriate divine action. You are not here to battle with dark forces or win the fight over evil. You are here to awaken and hold a lighter conscious frequency, despite all the chaos, density, injustices, and trauma-induced fear playing out in our 3D matrix. Ascending souls create a powerful collective energy from absolute love. They are a metaphoric lighthouse. Although you may sometimes feel like it's your purpose to save the world, I know it was mine growing up and quite a bit of my life. I felt this urgency that I was here to save the world. But it is this very mindset of fighting, correcting, fixing, and forcing that is deeply rooted and based in 3D reality. Egyptian numerology serves to help you remember that you are here to reclaim self-mastery over your mind, physical body, your emotional, spiritual, and psychic abilities. This rewiring is your metaphysical blueprint. The alignment of your soul contract is your purpose and your mission. The energy of this calendar month and the universal year are both in the number 9 energy. And this is all happening in preparation for the reset in 2006 when we come into a universal year number 1. That's exciting. I think we're all going to be very relieved when this energy finally turns over. You can use the 9-year cycles of your life to find the areas where your greatest challenges took place and also your greatest opportunities. Run through the thread and tapestry of your life and review everything in neutrality. And if you can, with deep gratitude for helping you become the person that you are today. If forgiveness has been requested, then forgive. If forgiveness has not been requested, forgive anyway. And this can be toward other people, places, things, circumstances, events, or even yourself. Even though you live your life as best as possible today without judgment, you must still venture into the underworld and change your past story with a new behavior and perspective. Otherwise, you will meet the challenges of dark and light continuously. Always start by honoring where you're at now. If you still find it necessary to blame others, then do so. Personal growth also comes in cycles, and sometimes it's necessary to be a victim before becoming your savior. But whatever you do, don't pretend to be someone that you're not. If you still hold anger, then express it appropriately, hopefully. Don't greet people with love and light words. When you're seeping or seething hatred in your heart, it's just confusing and unnecessary. It's important to respect and honor where you're at this moment and work from there. I encourage you to enroll in my 90-day mentorship program to accelerate your spiritual growth. Part of our work here on this planet is to raise our energy, open our hearts, clear karmic debts, and see with our third eye just how to create future possibilities. I also now have an online certification course that I offer on my website where you can learn Egyptian numerology and guide yourself, your friends, and family. With this tool, you can be the guru of your own tribe. I posted some links in the description box below, and you can learn more on my website at www.egyptiannumerology.org. I hope this video triggered some thoughts on how you can best proceed and succeed this month, utilizing the power of self-mastery with the energy of the number 9. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.